This is the NFL.
Coach, as you know, being over in Orlando, still a bit warm here in Florida, but really all things considered, a wonderful fall afternoon for football here in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Here come the Saints for their opening drive. They will be led out by the Heisman Trophy winner from 2018 from Oklahoma, Baker Mayfield.
And frankly, this is the type of game that a great quarterback relishes because 0-2 on the road, everything's against him and his team. No one can expect them to win. Sometimes you band together real tight in that situation, and if he plays really well, they've got a chance to get that done.
The numbers for Bell on the ground in the game last week. 9 carries, 86 yards, and a touchdown.
And that's just not enough carries for a running back to get loose and really feel like he's into the game because they have to have enough volume to establish a rhythm, not just for themselves, but also to get in sync with their offensive line so they can read the blocks properly and they can execute them. I expect them to get a minimum of 15 carries in this game, and the optimum number would be 20+.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's got his target. It's the tight end, Tyler Higbee. A big-time play there for New Orleans. And even 50 yards.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. And a look now at the offense for New Orleans.
And a big key is going to be how can these wideouts create separation from the defensive backs, because we've seen some early success in the passing game in this one, and that's going to need to continue.
Toward the pylon, caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Josh Doxson, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Now, this is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Go! HE Gator.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. The numbers for Johnson in last week's game, 18 carries, 67 yards.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter if they were going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space.
On second down now, it's Johnson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
But when you're able to break a run against a cover 2 or a 2-deep zone, safeties are back a little ways. What you're counting on is the guys taking care of business up front and then maybe climbing to the second level. That offensive lineman or tight end getting up to the second level and able to block the safety in order to create a big run.
Yeah, making those linemen work with a couple blocks. They look good doing it there.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 8. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now the Auburn product, Corey Grant. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Next to receivers, they'll spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so...
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. 25 yards for the touchdown as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time... He finishes off the big play in the end zone. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. They try to run on first down, but this defense says no dice. They stop him a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it's a 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. Defensive side of the football, the starters here for Tampa Bay. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
Most of their challenges have come in the passing game because against the run, they've been pretty darn good. Now they've got to figure out a way to slow down those receivers before they get downfield and maybe make a few more plays on the ball when it's in the air.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. Caught here by Bell. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be 4th down.
Obviously, they didn't get everything they wanted on that completion, but they put themselves in a spot where you've got to at least think about going for it. I know where we are on the field, but still, you've got to think about it, don't you?
12 yards on the return that time, and out will come the offense as they take over. We get a glance at Duke Johnson as he heads back out onto the field. And no doubt he's come out of the gate strong, only in week 3, and you see the numbers thus far.
And we always talk about identity, setting a tone, you know, getting the groundwork laid for the season or for a game. And that's what they've done with the running game so far. It reminds me of when I first went to the University of Tennessee. And believe it or not, I was a quarterback for a day and a half. And the first practice session, the first play we ran was 28 pitch, which is a toss sweep. And I remember the offense coordinator saying, That's our identity. That's our bread and butter. That's the basis of our offense. We got to get that down right here, right now. I think we're seeing some of that in this running game here.
So did you not get that down, and that's why you were moved to the defense, or what?
I don't know for that reason, but I do know I saw a couple of guys throw, and immediately they were saying, you know, you need to learn how to backpedal.
Hey, you turned into a heck of a DB, though, partner. They'll set up to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few. Yeah,
once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so well. Go to something else.
And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now Mayfield. A screen to Bell. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. He went backwards there 8 yards, and it brings up 3rd down. Now, that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Deion Jones coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Second quarter now in Tampa Bay. It's the Buccaneers in control of the football as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. 2nd and 9 now. And connecting here with DJ Shark. He's at the 30, the 20. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. DJ Shark, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Bucs have taken the lead. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And Le'Veon Bell making his way back out onto the field now. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially. The best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Mayfield now. Got an open man, Keelan Cole. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down. Mayfield brings him up 1st and 10, and he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. Now this throw caught left side. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. On the counter, here's Bell. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now this is Le'Veon Bell with a reception. 7 yards on the play, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
On first down, they go with Dixon. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. This is Bell. It looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on 3rd down.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Keelan Cole, the intended target, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. On second down, it's Dixon. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 3rd and goal. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
Now McManus will line up for the field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they feel really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd and 10. Over the middle, complete. It's Clark. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 17 yards on the play and a Buccaneer first down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But
and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Tajay Sharp, his first touchdown here of the new campaign as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game. But just let them know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
A pretty nice gain there on the run. Gets it to the 35 after showcasing the agile move. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard. The Bucs with an extra defender now in the secondary here on 3rd down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Goes underneath for Bell.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And there's a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down. As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
Give them 18 there, and the Saints have a first down. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Mayfield brings him up 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. And again, it's Mayfield. Now they go screen. It's complete. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play, now 2nd and 13. Going to the air again with Mayfield. That's complete to his tight end, Higbee. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
That's complete. It's Bell. The 3rd down run gets them nothing. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe.
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half. half of play.
21, Saints 13.
The Bucs with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with third down coming up. And they'll go jet sweep to try to pick it up. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. That's complete to Sharp. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
One thing you're looking for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that. That catch there, fired out. That's a big game.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. A quick throw caught by Sharp. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right, they need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
2nd and 14. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. DJ Chark, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. No time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Check 31, check 31.
From the gun, Mayfield. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Gary and Conley.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Mike, 55. Right there, 55. We got to get the ball. Can you get the ball right here? Now.
Again, it's Johnson. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And they'll go jet sweep to try to pick it up. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2.
You're out. Kill.
They run. It's Johnson. And this winds up a disaster. Nowhere near the marker.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call. Mark off the 5 and keep it moving.
So it's still 1st and goal, but now they get to try from a bit closer.
Watch your legs. Check 50. Greystone, travel. Get it.
They run the counter. Grant. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Corey Grant, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Bucs capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. So that drive, 4 plays. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. They run the counter. Bell. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big pin.
Now Mayfield lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 47 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Mayfield looks to throw. His throw incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. That'll bring up 2nd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Saints on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and 5. Mayfield. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Josh Doxson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Saints make some inroads here to that deficit. So up comes Mayfield as his guys will go for 2.
Well, if you've got him in your fantasy league, you like his production, his 2nd.
And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And we focus on Duke Johnson now. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you're doing across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. DJ Shark with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year, as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that pushes the lead up to 23. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Saints coming out now to take the field. Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. It's hauled in by Dodson. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. To throw, Mayfield. Open man, Taylor Gabriel. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 31-yard line.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Here's Mayfield. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 13-yard line. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Get ready.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Mayfield. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Ed Oliver busting through to get him for a loss of 6. The Saints on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 16. Now they'll try the sweep with Bell. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. Fourth down, Mayfield. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind that it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Out of the pistol, here's Johnson. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Johnson. And, boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the 1st down, close it out.
And now the Saints get set to trot out there. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. The Saints 1st down there on a gain of 11. Throwing, Mayfield. This is Gabriel out on the left side. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30. Ticks to go in the football game.
180. Come on, baby. I'm coming, baby. Woo!
Throwing again on 2nd down. Mayfield gets this into the hands of the tight end, Higbee. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. Mayfield now from the 50. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. Open man is Higbee, the tight end. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. It's in the fourth quarter down in Miami, and it was the Colts emerging victorious. Patrick Mahomes, 2 touchdown passes in the W. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Mayfield brings him up 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guy.
That many points allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Bucs, they get back in the win column as they move to